Well, I have now been mayor for a little over 2.5 years. I have entered into my ninth, actually signed my 10th emergency declaration. I just have to make sure that I'm grounded not only in my approach, but also as it relates to in action, and that those decisions are truly rooted, in data and in science that have led us through in dealing with this pandemic. So I believe that came around March 9th. When we had 2 known cases in our city, and where we had started to get information about not only community spread, but clusters of spread. I had my team at my table in my office, and we were talking about the existing conditions. And every day, after that, more and more deaths in our community. We were in community spread. Contact tracing could not be a tool that we would be able to utilize on the front end of this pandemic. The list of all of our people who had died at that time, that's where you get the names, that's where you get the age, the address, the race. I cried like a baby at my desk because it was real. They were no longer numbers. They were people, and people deeply rooted into the fabric of this community that we will not get back. This is really a horrible opportunity, but it is an opportunity to diversify our economy so that we're no longer just a city dependent upon our hospitality and tourism industry. And green infrastructure is one that we're leading on in this country that creates sustainable jobs and long-term careers. We were reminded by this pandemic that yellow fever, when we had to deal with this long time ago, it's where charity grew out of that. Tulane Medical School grew out of that pandemic. That's why the city of New Orleans has the only health department in the state of Louisiana. I am no stranger to the issues of, discrimination in some instances, implicit bias, racism, you name it. But in this role, and being the first chief executive officer of the city of New Orleans in its 300-year history, and being a female and being a Black one, it comes with just another set of challenges that you're faced with and that you have to overcome.
We matter. We matter. All Black lives are sacred.
Social injustice and inequalities are no strangers to Black people, and definitely to this city. So the protests, which were really centered around that, and the lack of equity, the lack of equality, the lack of justice, I felt proud, quite frankly, of the people in our city who were standing up to it. Seeing the large numbers of our white residents and non-Black citizens standing up for equality and justice and social equity, that made me proud as well. And so we need, as a community, to come together in all sectors of the community to stand for what is right. And I feel that right now. What's the next 300 years going to look like around here? And so, and it takes all of us to be a part of creating that future vision. And so I say bring it on, and I'm excited about the future. I really am.
As long as I have breath in my